to the rap lab. Rap lab, rap lab, rap lab. Welcome to the rap lab, rap lab, rap lab. Welcome to the rap lab, rap lab, rap lab. Welcome to the rap lab, rap lab, rap lab. Welcome to the rap lab.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday, so you know what that means. It's an all new episode of the Rap Lab podcast. New day, same time. It's your boy, the Candyman, the ALFRE to the D.
Yeah, back again. It's your boy, the one and only, the only one, the Rev Barber MC.
To G or not to G is the question. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what I do. Always keeping it true. It's the Q.
Hey, I know who I be. I always got to leave it last. So your boy T.O. And always the question that remains. Still the same. What's the dealio?
And we hope everybody has enjoyed their new year. Now that the new year has officially been rung in, we're going to take a look back. We had some time to think about the each individually. We put together a list of our top 5 albums of 2021. We just had to let the new year sink in and marinate so we could go back and figure it out. You're gonna hear 4 different lists, 4 different rankings, but I'm sure everybody has their own criteria. Of course, if you're not new to the Rap Lab podcast, some of us, if the length of the album is not suffice or it doesn't have enough tracks, Rev, then it's not an album. If y'all know me, if it's a mixtape, I'm not even gonna listen to it. So let's get into it. All right, so fellas, we'll start with you, Rev, since this concept was your brainchild. Number 5, what was the 5th best album of 2021 in your opinion?
Yes, sir. Just jumping off of what we did last year, doing a little bit of a different style. It's funny how you mentioned mixtapes and stuff, but when I first listened to this album, I had to look again and be like, is this an album? Tyler, the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost, because he has DJ Drama on it, narrating the whole album. It sounds like a classic mixtape, and it's funny because DJ Drama was the one that had got a lot in trouble because of the mixtapes, and the feds and everything had seized all his assets and stuff. So it's ironic that he's doing this album or mixtape or whatever you want to call it. And Tyler, the Creator, is super creative, man, and he basically just took it to another level. I'm actually surprised that I have him on this list because like he has been consistent, but he's just like at times it just is not like my cup of tea as far as music. He's kind of like a bit out there, but this piece was really good, man. I can't lie. He actually gave a well composed album, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Odd Future if they're even still a group. But yeah, man, it was a dope piece, man. I actually like that he had a good number of songs on there too. It was 16 songs, 52 minutes. Actually felt like a real album.
Okay, and I don't think anybody here would have picked Tyler, the Creator. Shout out to Odd Future. Somebody go find my man's Earl sweatshirt and see if he's still alive. But all right,
he's dropping too.
Yeah, man. We could talk. We could have a whole episode on Odd Future one day, but Earl sweatshirt, that's my guy. T.O., what about you? Number 5.
See, it was hard to pick for number this ranking of the order, but I probably have to start off with Styles P and Havoc, The Wreckage Manor. Now, I didn't first hear about this until I think few of y'all even said it. QG said it as well because I was like late to the party on that one. I said, I got to give this a chance. So when I first heard it, it's different because you look at a Lox wordsmith person like Styles P and you look at a veteran Mobb Deep producer in Havoc. And when I heard the album, it's only 10 tracks. I don't know if E will like that, but it's only 10 tracks of the album. And I personally enjoyed it. They had great chemistry together, in my opinion. The productions was not bad. Styles P and even Havoc kept the lyrics going and stuff. But few songs on the album that got to me, like Havoc and the Ghost. That was a great ass song. I love Nightmares to Dreams. I think there was the single at one point. Wasn't promoted right. But if anyone had a chance, I would definitely recommend The Wreckage Manor by both Styles P and Havoc. I think they did a great job. That should be up there as category of album of the year.
Fair enough. QG, number 5.
For the first time ever, I get to do my Alfred impersonation. Y'all ready?
What do you
Uh
wait,
oh.
wait, wait, wait,
Oh,
wait,
this
wait,
should be
wait, hold
good.
on. What do you mean?
You
What do you mean an Alfred impersonation?
Oh,
Uh
this is
Well, you,
good.
Gonna be a good
you're one of the worst singers of all time. So,
Ah,
I mean,
ah.
I never have the opportunity to, to sing on this show. So, let me get it together. And To, you can help me out here because you know everything about this song. I am everyday
Hey.
people. Number 5 on my list, Arrested Development. They
Nice.
came out with an album in 2021, and it's for the FKN Love. I try not to curse for you people, but it's for the effing love. That album came out. This album is an hour and 9 minutes long. We talking about 17 tracks, and it was interesting for me because everybody knows about Arrested Development, and I was like, they came out with an album, and then when I listened to it, just with the poetry, they still sound so polished. And my favorite songs on the album is Never Had Your Back, About It, and I Don't Care. And, it was just so good to hear them again. And I thought that this album was brilliant. It captured the poetry and it also talked about all the stuff that's going on. We know Arrested Development is a very social conscious group, and to hear them still talk about what's going on out there in the world, it was just so good. So, number 5, Arrested Development. I got them as number 5 for album of the year.
I got a question. Since you brought up the old school joint, what the hell was that guy saying? Can you still understand what he was saying on that song?
Well. I mean, you're a jazzy man, with the whole scat and that type of technique. They were incorporating that along with the reggae. That's Arrested Development's MO.
Hmm.
They combine all these different genres, and this is a group from Atlanta. What I
Yep.
mean, they're very Afrocentric and positive and that type of way. And I still feel that they're highly underrated, man. And for them, they've been out since 1988, and to come out with an album for this year and still do something, like, I was just impressed with them. They have a long catalog. If you go back and look at their records, they've been out dropping albums, and to come out in 2021 with something so refreshing, I enjoyed it.
Okay, fair enough. And my number 5 is probably an album nobody is gonna have on their list. I'm going with Faith by Pop Smoke.
Wow.
Now,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Now, for all of you out there, because I know that every time I say something, open my mouth, the listeners out there in podcast land be like, "Well, Candyman, why you said that?" Well, I'm gonna tell you why I said that. Now, don't get me wrong. Faith is not better than Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. It is not. Pop Smoke's first album will always be his best work. However, Faith was a decent follow-up. Standout tracks include Woo Baby featuring Chris Brown, Backdoor featuring Quavo and Kodak Black. So even Top Shotta with the Neptunes and Pusha T. So and Manslaughter with Rick Ross and The Dream. Even Kanye shows up on television. So Pop Smoke, and the sad part is we ain't never gonna get no more new Pop Smoke music because the catalog is completely empty.
Word.
But I think compared to now, I'm not gonna lie to you. In preparation for this episode, when I was shown the list of albums that came out for rap in 2021, I maybe have only listened to about a quarter of them, 1/4, maybe even less, because my math is bad. But um, yeah, so I'm only picking my top 5 out of what I heard. There were people that came out with albums, and I didn't know who some of those people were. And then some people I was like, damn, you got an album? Damn, that's how much I wasn't checking for you that I didn't even know you had an album. But
Oh,
out of the albums I heard for 2021, I'm putting Faith by Pop Smoke at number 5.
No doubt. That's what's up.
Good choice. Good choice.
All right, Rev, we spin it back to you, number 4.
All right, yeah, man. So for a while, I actually had this album as my number one, and then time went by and a couple more albums dropped. But Sky Zoo, All the
oh,
Brilliant Things,
Shout out
man.
to Skyzoo. I like Skyzoo.
oh man. Well, guess that's gonna be my answer too. I had him at number
Oh,
4.
you got a number four too?
Yeah.
Oh, let's share the stage, man. We could both
Yeah.
talk about it, man. I mean, what I loved about it, it just had that vintage Brooklyn feeling. Maybe that's why you like it, because I felt like I was wearing some Spike Lee's on a stoop, man, just kicking it, listening to this
Mhm.
album. One of my favorite tracks is Bed-Stuy is Burning. That right there is just a classic vintage hip hop feel, man, to it. Anybody, if you want to introduce them to hip hop, to this thing of ours, you play Brooklyn is Bed-Stuy is Burning, man. I want to give a shout out to my homie Cash in Michigan, because I actually put him onto this, and then he put me on to the I believe it's called the Little Table concert. I'm not sure if y'all have seen that on YouTube
Yeah,
or
there's a
anything
lot of
like
artists that do it.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
But we kind of exchanged
it's
like some
dope.
gems. Yeah, we exchanged some gems that day, and some herbal. You know what I'm saying? So this album was like the perfect thing, man, to bring to a homie. You know what I'm saying? And introduce him to this thing of ours, how we do it in New York. You go ahead, Tio.
Yo, I'm piggyback off you, bro, because first of all, when I looked at the album cover, it's funny that you said Spike Lee, because that definitely looked like art by Spike Lee himself.
Yeah.
So when you look at the album cover himself and being me from Brooklyn, that's Bed-Stuy, that's Fulton Street and Franklin Avenue. But what's funny about that album cover, before I get into the songs, is it that album cover looks more like gentrification of Brooklyn, because that's
It,
not what the corner of Franklin and Fulton used to look like back then, people.
right.
So that's
Yep.
how I took it. Now, to the album, I couldn't skip a damn song on this album.
Same thing.
The
Same thing.
productions, first of all, the production was so Skyzoo. That's number one. St. James Liquor was my favorite track of that whole damn thing. He went
Fire.
off St. James Liquor. What was that? Humble Brag? Was it called Humble Brag?
Oh,
In the mix?
yes.
Yo, bro.
Yes.
If they ain't yo,
Man.
and you know the thing that kind of obsessed me about Skyzoo, he's so underrated, and I feel like he does not get enough credit
He
as an
doesn't.
MC
It's scary.
himself.
He doesn't.
Absolutely. Word.
And one thing I love about Skyzoo, he always stays to himself. He never changes. He just keep coming with what he can come up with, and it always delivers. If you don't believe me, shoot. Even the song, I think he was talking. I was supposed to be a trap rapper.
Yo, I was gonna say that. Man, he
Lord have
flipped it
and flipped it like crazy. I'm like,
and
well, damn.
and killed that style. He tried the new version of rap, like the way the trap rappers do. He did that at the
Yo,
end of the song, killed it.
man, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Skyzoo, props to you, my man. Shoot, I didn't even know about this album until I got told about it, because I didn't even know he even came out with an album. I said, Skyzoo, oh, I gotta
Yes,
see
sir.
this. This is Brooklyn right here, man.
Word.
Yeah. When he comes with an album, he crafts it very well.
Yeah,
His storytelling capabilities, the way that he sets the scene. Like, if you ever want to, if anybody that's never been to Brooklyn, pop in a Skyzoo album, close your eyes and listen, and you could definitely envision Brooklyn.
exactly.
All right, QG, what about you, number 4?
Number four on my list is The Boys. We're talking about Horseman, The Last Ride, and let me tell y'all about this. For
Wait,
those that
hold
don't
on.
know,
I hate to cut you off, but when you say the Horsemen, are you talking about cannabis and corrupting them?
I'm talking about Cannabis, Killer Priest, Corrupt, and Roscos.
Oof.
Oh
What
shit!
took him so
I
long?
didn't.
Right.
Damn. See,
I'll
that's
tell
how
you
you know.
why.
That's how you know niggas wasn't checking for them, because I didn't even know they came out with an album until just
I,
now.
I I'll tell you the whole basis behind it. Now, when they got together originally, this was back in 1998, and everybody was out making albums, and they came out with a project called the Horseman Project. That was in 2003, and they've collaborated with each other after that. But then they had a tape, an official album that they were doing in the studio with new beats and everything like that. But it got leaked, and then everybody was kind of doing their own thing. Everybody kind of went their own way. Ross Cos made an announcement, said he was leaving the group. Everybody was doing something different. But towards the end, I think they finally were able to get together, be like, you know what? Our fans been waiting for this. We owe it to them to do this. And when I heard the album, everybody just sounds so good. They all sound the same. Cannabis still sound the same. When I heard Corrupt rap those bars, Corrupt sounds like Corrupt. Killer Priest came with them raw lyrics. Ross Kaz is one of the greatest lyricists ever. And just to go through the tracks, the tracks that I really like is this shit right here,
Mm.
Love and War. Yeah, Love and War was very good. And the funny thing about this last track that I picked, does anybody want a Whopper? They have a song on here called Burger King. When I heard it, I was
Yeah, yeah.
you guys got a song called Burger King, but it was just incredible, man. It was just so good to hear them rap with their style. Everybody has a different style and they're so
Hmm.
lyrically great. And just to hear it officially, like there's 13 tracks on here. If you uh cut the intro, it's actually 12, but it's 57 minutes
Dope
and it's
intro.
from oh god, oh yeah, that intro, Centro is what they call it. I was
Intro.
like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
this is very, very creative. And if you want some raw lyricism, if you want to hear some great techniques and skills, pop in this album. If this is the last ride, it was damn sure well worth it. Good job, guys.
Oh yeah. Great album. I like the 1 second was my favorite joint.
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
Killed that joint.
Oof.
hmm Shout out to the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, man.
All right. So I guess number 4 is on me. I'm gonna go with somebody who we lost in 2021. So another posthumous album has made my list. And no, folks, this is not a trend, and this is not done on purpose. I'm just putting what sounds good. I'm gonna go with Exodus by DMX and number 4 for me in my top 5 of 2021. So a lot of
Shout
people,
out to the dog.
yeah, R.I.P. DMX. A lot of people be like, oh, why is he number 4? I'm gonna tell you why he's number 4. So again, it's a posthumous album. I felt like if DMX would have been alive to see the album to its completion, it might have sounded a bit different.
I
I
agree.
had to knock off some points because I don't know, recent Jay Z guest verses. Like Jay Z just sounds so uninspired when he does features lately. Like it just is it's crazy to me. But but yeah, Bath Salts standout track. Um, I personally like Walking in the Rain.
That was my favorite
Uh,
track.
yeah,
Yeah,
Walking in
Walking
the
in the
Rain
Rain was
was
dope.
dope. And I didn't mind, and I actually, even though I'm not a fan of current Lil Wayne that much, Dogs Out was not a bad idea. But again, oh, and how could I forget Hood Blues with Benny the Butcher and West Side Gun, the Griselda Boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Oh,
again, I think if DMX would have been alive to see this album to the end, the album might have sounded different. I am a firm believer that had DMX stayed alive, one, the album would have never released on Def Jam because they wasn't fucking with him for years until up to his death. They dropped him at one point. I think they sent him to Columbia if my memory serves correct. And then I don't think Jay Z would have done a guest verse if DMX was still alive. I think he did it off of GP because that was his man's back in the day. So yeah, I think the album would have sounded a bit different. I do firmly believe that DMX would have fucked with the Griselda boys though, had he
Oh
been
yeah.
alive. Well, he did features with them while he was alive anyway. So you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I got for my number 4 is Exodus by DMX.
Dope.
All right, number 3, we spin it back to Rev.
Out of all the albums that's on my list, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's number 3, but this one might be my favorite album. I might have listened to this album the most, and I actually did have this one at number 1 as well. With this one and Sky Zoo, I was kind of going back and forth, but at a time this one had edged it out. I'm talking about Your Old Droog, Time. And I know he gets a
Mm.
little knocked because he sounds like Nas, but who
Wait, wait,
better to
wait. Who's
sound like?
who, who's the artist?
His name is Your Old
Old Droog.
Droog.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't
He's been
I don't I don't even know who that is.
it's
man.
He's
okay.
been on the
It's
scene
okay.
for a minute. Those Nas
Yes.
comparisons that Rev is talking about, he'll get into it. He's absolutely right about that.
Yeah, there was a point in time where people thought Nas had went by a different alias on YouTube and released an
It was
album.
That
funny.
was
It
true.
was.
Yeah, but it was this cat. He's an Albanian kid out of Brooklyn. You know, he's a diehard hip hopper. His lyrics are just as gritty as Nas. I think he's like Nas's mean streak or his evil side, cause or Nas still in QB side, cause he's real gritty with it, man. Like he lives this, man. This New York hip hop, man. Your old Droog is definitely about that. And this album is called Time. He actually released two albums in
Yep.
2021, but I mean the other album was good too, but Time for me was awesome. It had a great concept, obviously about time. The second song was called the Magic Watch, you know, so he's talking about, you know, just basically him battling time. One of my favorite songs, Field of Dreams, with Aesop Rock, not Aesop Rock,
Mm.
Aesop Rock Underground, and my man Elzai from Detroit. Real spitters on that one, man. 15 songs, 45 minutes. Dope album. I could listen to this joint back to the front, yo. Shout out to hip hop in 2021, because there actually was a lot of dope releases, and this definitely was one of them, in my opinion.
Before you go, shout out to Elzai, man, because that's the name I haven't heard in a while. Really
Yeah,
underrated.
Elzai's nice. Elzai's nice.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it was on me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, To number 3 for you.
Well, you know I had to put this man in, since I'm a little biased. I had to give it a try, but I said, you know what? I'm not surprised. He always delivers. So QG, this is for you. Ticka-ta, ticka-ta, ticka-ticka-ta. You know how to put his ass in it. Yes, people, the one and only Common. I had to put him in number 3 with the Beautiful Revolution Part 2, because remember he did have a Part 1, but
Yes, he
Part 2
did.
edged out Part 1 in my opinion, and it's no surprise that Common always deliver with his poetic energy, the poetic lines, and the way this album goes. It's Common always has hope. He always puts positivity, the creativity for his vision, as far as the lyrics and for the world. He wants to vision so much of a change and positivity. Of course, he talks about a lot of stuff in his songs that are trauma, like what was that one track I remember? The Beautiful Chicago Kid. That was one. Set It Free was a good song. And last but not least, because I know we're going around, he had a song once again collaborating with Black Thought. Now these two motherfuckers are starting to piss me off right now. And sorry to cuss like that, but
You
if
want
these
that
two
album, don't
jabronis don't make a
you? You want
joint
that
album,
album, don't
I'm
you?
going to smack them. Common
That'll be
and Black
good.
Thought,
That'll
if
be
you
good.
two jabronis listening, it's time to get in the lab, start making some joints, make an album, call it the Common Thoughts. I've been trying to give that idea for the past 2 years now. I'm sick of
It
it.
could
I
work.
want that OG album.
It could work. Yeah.
Nah, but I had to put Common as number 3. Beautiful Revolution. You know, he always takes like the Afrocentric type beats as well. Common is just in a state of mind that he really don't have anything to prove anymore, but he just always want to put an album out for positivity. That's all he's been for the past decades and plus. So shout out to you, Common. You did
You
good
know,
with
I
the
want to
beautiful.
add. I want to add to that. Did anybody see that freestyle he did? What was it for L.A. Leakers?
Oh my
Oh
lord.
yeah, killed that shit.
He destroyed it. Like
What was
Common,
that line he made
he's
about
a
when
rapper, bro.
he said I bear hugs like I'm Justin Fields or some shit like that? Oh,
Man,
I
that
was like,
boy was
what the
punching.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
wouldn't
I
want
mean,
to be
Sweating
Justin.
too.
You
You see,
wouldn't.
no,
Common was working out.
no
You
disrespect.
wouldn't want to.
Nothing beats that Black Door freestyle.
Yeah, that's
You
hard to
wouldn't want.
top.
It's
You
hard
wouldn't
to
Because for
want to
top.
be
some
just.
reason, hold up, just let me get one more thing out. For Black Thought to say you won't have soul unless you Korean, whew, game over. They didn't even have to freestyle after that.
Man.
All right, Al, you'll go.
Oh no, I was gonna say, as far as the Justin Fields bar, you wouldn't want to be Justin Fields lately. He got benched for Andy Dalton,
Word.
and Andy Dalton actually had a heck of a game. So,
The red rifle.
Mm.
but
Poor Justin.
go ahead, QG. It's your turn, number 3.
All right. I got another question for everybody. What do
Mm.
you need to convict someone?
Probable cause,
What else? What's another word for proof?
evidence.
Bingo.
Hey.
Now, we're talking about my main man, Evidence from the West Coast. The Unlearning Volume 1 came out in 2021. I want to shout out my boy, the big boss man, Ralph, because him and we've had plenty of conversations. He used to bring me songs and instrumentals and beats from all these different artists, especially a guy like Evidence, who I truly, truly respect from Dilated Peoples fame. And, when you want to talk about the definition of a backpacker, these are people that bring their A game when it comes to lyrics. You could give them any beat in the world, they're just going to go crazy over it. And with the Unlearning, my favorite songs in particular, you know, uh, Shark Smells Blood. And also, I like All Money 1983. Anything with the 80s, I'm always going to jump with. And last but not least, another favorite of mine is Pray with an A featuring Navy Blue. Like, I mean, just the production and the lyricism alone. Evidence is still such a great, great rapper. Like the way he puts his words together, the way he displays his technique, that's what he is. And I was so happy when, after Dilated Peoples, him going solo and really showing what he got to do as far as a rapper. And what more could you ask for from a guy like that? And whether it be his songs with Planet Asia, Mad Child, anybody out there, bro, the Far Out from the West Coast, Evidence, happy for you, man. Much love to you.
Salute.
Yeah, man.
All right. All right. My number three. And I expect all the heat and all the backlash. But I'm gonna tell y'all why this slipped number three, because a lot of people might have had it at one or two, but it's three for me. Especially when people hear what I got number two over it. But number three, I'm going Magic by Nas, which actually came out a couple of weeks back on Christmas Eve. Reason being why this is three. It's a phenomenal product, but to pull the rev rule, 9 tracks at 29 minutes, it felt like maybe I was listening to an EP or an EP with some cutting room floor tracks. But um it seems like Nas and Hit Boy just have this formula that they just can't lose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like like they like the Lakers in the early 2000s. They just three-peated, or like the Jordan Bulls, they three-peated. And Nas finally, it's crazy because Nas is 3 straight albums, all solely produced by Hit Boy, and he links up with Hit Boy. He's dropping classic type albums. He finally got himself a Grammy. Like Nas is not, and not Nas has been on a roll quality wise. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm. Look out for
stand
King
out,
Disease 3.
yeah, standout track, Wave Gods with ASAP Rocky and DJ Premier. But the whole project is dope. I personally like Hollywood Gangster and Woo for the Children. So
Man,
Woo,
Hollywood
WU,
Gangster.
like Wu Tang, not Woo like Pop Smoke. But so yeah, I got Magic by Nas at number three. So finally, somebody who ain't dead cracked the list.
That's dope.
It's a good album. It's a good album. Very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, number two, Rev.
All right, we winding down. Top two, man. So I had to go J. Cole the off season here.
Good
When
pick.
that album hit, it came out in May. But when it hit, everybody was hyped because J. Cole, he kind of lays low, And the only knock I have, of course, I'd have this knock. 39 minutes, 12 songs. But I just felt like he went off on this album, man. People like Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. He killed that joint. And I don't know what it is with him and 21 Savage, but like they get in the studio and they do the damn thing, man. They might have to make an EP, like a six
That's the
song.
only time I can listen to 21, bro, when he works with J. Cole, to be honest
How
with you.
how 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 many niggas got shot? A lot.
Man. But
Tried to tell you,
yeah,
QG, but you wouldn't listen.
I
he
don't listen to that guy by himself, man. He sounds bored.
that's the good thing about J. Cole is that he enhances these artists. Even Lil Baby, like he's not my cup of tea, but
Yes.
Pride is the Devil. It's like he had him perfectly placed where he needed to be placed on that track because that's a vintage J. Cole record, if you ask me. You know, if you were like, hey, like play me some vintage J. Cole, it'd be that because that's just his flow, his sound, just everything about J. Cole is in that record right there with Lil Baby. The whole album is dope, man. It actually is a good listen to front to back if you know you do have the 39 minutes. But yeah, shout out to J. Cole, man, dropping a banger, letting us know, man, that he's a top tier MC. And I'm looking forward to more work of his. I would love to see him and Kendrick actually put that album out if they ever do it.
Yeah, what the hell are they waiting for? Come on, hurry up with
They're
the
the one
album.
that's pissing me off. Um, y'all gonna maybe I'm probably gonna laugh at this, but I already mentioned the album, and I guess it's my turn since I had the same thing. But I actually put Magic for number 2 in my list. I
Why
know it
did
was a
you
short.
rank yours higher? Why did you rank yours higher than Al?
Because I felt like Nas. I like King's Disease too, but I always felt when Nas does that tease and stuff for the next album, he's going to hit more than anything. Now, King's Disease 2 was good, but I always felt Magic, even though I felt like it had a bit of a, can't say an Illmatic formula as far as track listing. That's number one. And two, he felt more comfortable with Magic more than he did with King's Disease 2. And I felt like with the productions that Hit Boy put out, Nas just went with it. And like I can't even say much because Al touched on it already. Like all the tracks he did, especially Hollywood Gangster, that's my favorite track off the album. Because one, he went off, and two, I love how he always talks about that, he's just a regular man. He don't need security. You don't need like 1,000
Mhm.
dudes with you.
Correct.
You can still be your own self. And you can tell Nas is his own self. Because he
Facts.
has that respect in the hood. He has that respect in the game, the streets, all that. So when I heard the album, obviously, and again, QG, and I probably told both of y'all too, I was upset because I wanted more.
That's
But
what
I
Nas
felt,
did.
I feel
And
that.
he
but
said it on the album. He said it on the album itself. This is just a little teaser for y'all till King's Disease 3 drop. But yeah, you left us wanting for more, which is good for Nas and Nas fan base.
and since he told it, I forgave him, but I was still upset because I wanted more. It was just too damn good. And it almost felt like you couldn't skip these particular tracks, just like how you couldn't skip Illmatic. And I gotta give it up to ASAP Rocky because he actually did good on that joint too with the Premier joint, which we did not get a chance to see for a long time between Nas and DJ Premier. So for all you Nas fans, he got with my man Premier.
Hmm.
Nas did his thing. ASAP, I ain't a fan of him, but hey, sometimes when you gotta work with certain artists like Nas or maybe Jada Kids, you better bring your damn A game. I don't hear none
That's
of
a
that
fact.
old fashioned trap bullshit. Bring your A game. This is Nas we're talking about. So yes, I did put Magic as number 2.
It's a good pick. And you're right about that. When you work with Nas, you better bring your A game.
That's nothing. Trust me, like I said,
Always.
half these other rappers who we saw in the '90s, late '90s, and early 2000s were alive. Ooh, I would dare to see someone try trap music next to Big Pun. You will eat your ass alive.
Hmm. It's on me next.
Yep, QG number 2.
Yow.
I don't get it.
Of course you don't, but I know Rev does. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it one more time slowly. Yow. Who makes that sound on a rap?
Sound like you know what?
Oh
I was about
man,
I
no,
was about to
no
say
love, no love for Joel Ortiz. That's
I
sad,
was about
man.
to say
That's who
that
I was
sounds like
thinking
Joel,
too.
and I was like that sound
Yeah,
like
what?
Joel, but I haven't heard from him in a while.
Ah, yes, yes. He came out with the autograph. Came out with the autograph this year. Now, I've been a fan of him ever since I heard the Brick Bodega Chronicles, and I got to thank my man Ralph again for putting me on because I heard of Joel, but and this goes back to you, T. I'm sure you heard about the EA Sports thing with the Mean Business track that was on the NBA Live
Live
2005 soundtrack.
2004. Five, sorry, five.
That was the first time I heard of him, and I
Listen,
was like, "Well,
man,
this
your
is
man Ortiz
yeah."
is here for business.
He was here for business, and he's still here for business because the autograph is the one. Yo, like Rev, have you heard this album?
Yeah, it's pretty dope, man. I can't front, yo. I was surprised that
Yeah.
dropped the album this year. You know,
Oh
it's been
man,
a
I didn't
while.
even get a chance to hear it. I wish I gotta hear this, man.
Yo,
Damn.
I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna give you three tracks. I've been giving you threes. In my feelings, like
Mm.
at the start of the album, like he just goes in, man. And Housing Authority.
Mm.
Housing Authority with King Crooked. You know when
Yes,
when
sir.
him and Crooked get together, it's
Yep.
it's it's,
Uh-oh.
it's cooking. It's cooking with King Crooked. And then I should have picked track number two for joking purposes. If anybody knows, it's called Uncle Chris Car. Yes, it's my car, so thank you for driving it. And track number 11 is my favorite, dog. Therapeutic, because he talks about what music is. Music is therapeutic. When you're going through something and you put on that song or you put on these songs, it puts you in that mood. And Joel is just lyrically gifted, and just the way that he puts everything together. I really like Joel. Like when we talk about Slaughterhouse, and everybody has their favorites. People talk about Royce. Royce is great. Crooked is great. Joel is great. Joe is great. But Joel, just to me, he has that personality, and that separates him from the group. He brings that personality, man. We're talking about a Brooklyn MC. He's been in the game. He's been all over. He's been on all these different labels, and for him to still come in with that raw, authentic style, I got to give Joel that. I got to give him that nod, man. I mean, we
It's
got, we
another
got,
it's
yeah,
another
we
Brooklyn
got, and
native.
it's
Cooper
43
Projects,
minutes.
that's him.
It's 43 minutes, man. It's 13 tracks, man.
Oh, it's legit. Oh yeah,
It's
definitely legit.
okay. All right,
It's
then.
legit.
So,
It's Joel T, so he can get away with it.
oh yeah,
You
and
know,
he got,
yo,
and he also got Saha the Prince on there. He got Sheik on there. Like, come on, it's
Yeah.
great, man. So I got to
that's a
give Joel that spot. Yeah, I give him that
yo,
spot. Go ahead, T. What you got to say?
Bodega Chronicles, man. Taking it back, man. That was a hot ass album, man. Yo, 125 Part 4.
Mm.
That spoke so much volumes.
Ooh-wee.
Beasted on it.
Oh God.
He beasted the hell out of it.
He did. But I mean, but the Candyman isn't really too fond of Spanish rap, so I don't think
Who
didn't
said
really know
that?
about that.
Who
You,
said that? I keep saying, I
Yeah,
keep saying that Big Pun was one of the greatest Spanish rappers of all
yeah,
time.
yeah,
first of all, you don't care about you only quote with that one part. That's all you
yeah,
quote.
yeah.
You don't give a damn about any
Big
other
Pun
thing.
song. Con Digara. We still made
Oh,
it to the
oh.
top. And we
Apparently
don't
you,
stop. We always
appar-
knew we'd
apparently,
make it.
apparently you made it to the bottom, and you
We
should
still
stop
made it
with
to
that
the
singing.
top.
But definitely check out Joel Ortiz, Candyman. Listen to some of his stuff, man.
I
Listen.
gotta
I'm
check
I'm
it
I'm
out
out,
too.
I'm out here keeping Tony Sunshine relevant. All right, you show some respect.
You not keeping Tony Sunshine relevant. If anything, if he ever heard you singing, he'll
You
cut
sure
you
you
with that,
keeping
man.
Tony
You better be
Sunshine
careful
or
with that.
Sunset? Which one is it?
Yeah, is it? It's not even the moonlight with that type of singing.
Anywho, so for my number two, before I reveal what number two is, I'm just gonna go on the record and say I'm disappointed in all three of y'all because this album ain't come out of nobody's mouth yet.
Okay.
But I know what type of music y'all like, so y'all be hating on proven track records and success sometimes, especially you, QG. But my number two for 2021 is Certified Lover Boy by my main man Drake.
Now to stop you right there. Now to stop you right there. To stop you right there. You should know damn well I would never put him in any of my rankings. So you shouldn't be disappointed in me. You should look
But
in the
but the
mirror
but
and be
the
disappointed in
but
yourself.
the music is good though.
I don't give a damn if the music is good or not. Now, I said it before plenty of times on this show. Selective Drake songs I can get into. But if you want to put Creepy Little Bastard up there, you can put Creepy Little Bastard up there. That could stay on your ranks. That's CLB. You could keep that up there. That's got
That's
nothing
so
to do
fun.
with me. That's
That's
got
so
nothing to do with
fun.
me. I'm disappointed in you would put that up there. If you want to light candles in a dark room and sing emo songs, go right ahead and do it. That's got nothing to do with me.
See, but that just proves how much of a hater you are because you just said I don't care if the
I ain't no
music is
damn hater.
good.
I
You
ain't a
just said
damn
you don't
hater at
care if the
all. I'm
music is
keeping it
good and the
real.
music is good.
I'm keeping it 100% real. Is that his best work? Is that his best work?
No, but it's up there.
Why the hell is it up there when the other albums you mentioned earlier are better than that?
No. This is better than Pop Smoke. This is better than DMX. And I
I
told you
don't.
I had to knock.
Nope. Wrong.
I told you I had to knock Nas.
Wrong. You can never go to City Field again.
Why?
You might as well. You might as well move to Canada with all that nonsense.
First off, you've been with me inside of City Field. I'm the mayor of City Field. All right.
You might as well be
Secondly,
the
there
mayor
to
of the
protect that.
Rogers Center.
I was.
So you might as well be the
well,
mayor
you
of
know
the
what?
Rogers Center. That's
Next
it.
next time you go to City Field, you need me to protect you.
secondly, I wouldn't even mind relocating to Canada.
Alfred, the way this is going, you might as well be the mayor of the Rogers Center.
You know damn
Listen,
well I would never put CLB anywhere in my ranks. So I don't know why the
listen,
hell
I
you
wouldn't
said
even
that.
mind. I wouldn't even mind relocating to Canada because that's God's country. You heard? Where they
Mhm.
take care of the sick, the poor, and the old. There's universal
Okay,
health
Brett.
care,
Okay,
and
Brett.
there's no racism.
There you go,
Okay,
quote it.
Brett.
There you go,
He's
quote
quoting
it.
Brett. He's quoting Brett the Hitman Hart again, and even Brett the Hitman Hart got more bars than Drake.
Oh, stop it. But reasons why this is number 2. I feel like it was a real standout album. It got released back in September. And we got Champagne Poetry. We got Poppy's Home. Girls Want Girls with Lil Baby. We got In the Bible with Lil Durk and Giveon. Jay-Z drops by on Love All. Way Too Sexy wasn't a bad song, even though I can't stand Young Thug.
No, that song was trash.
You
Trash.
see
Are
what
you
I'm talking about
That
here?
song was trash.
You got a lot of nerve. That song is
Yo,
one of the worst songs ever recorded, ever written, ever put out there. Why the hell did they play that?
get along better
Fred should sue. He should sue.
He
why
should
should he sue?
He should sue. Because
Bitch.
that's an
You kidding?
insult. That's an insult to the original track. How the
That
hell?
song
How the hell are you too sexy for the trap? You selling drugs
Easy.
there. What does sexy have to do with being sexy for the trap? That don't make no damn sense.
It's not for us to understand, bro. That's for the young kids.
Are you
The
young?
young kids. So the young kids. So basically, the drug dealers is supposed to be worried about being sexy in the trap house.
And doing silly little dances in the video.
That is
Kawhi
the
Leonard.
dumbest thing.
I was about to say, wasn't that fool Kawhi Leonard in there with the?
His emotionless ass dancing.
Exactly.
Why we
Yo,
hating?
I
Paid
was
him
like,
some good money.
Why we hating though?
Hey, this is not hate. This is
no
not
wonder
hate
the
at all.
Clippers were on and off.
You can't hate
music-
something you don't pay attention to.
Emotional self. Exactly.
All right, and when it wins a Grammy in 2022, I'm just gonna tell all of you.
It's
I
not.
said
It's
don't.
that's
win a
not
Grammy.
happening.
That's not winning any
no,
damn
no,
Grammy.
no.
Drake ain't win
He's not
Grammys
winning
before.
no Grammy. He's not winning a Grammy for that.
Nope.
He ain't winning for that.
Not against who he's up against.
Yeah, damn right.
And I'll get right into that.
All right, who's your number 1?
The future 2-time Grammy winning artist King's Disease 2 by Nas is the
That is
number
actually
one album.
that is actually my number 1 as well.
We can both eat on the same plate.
Y'all get into it.
By the way, before you go, fuck Lauryn Hill and Nas. I'm disappointed in you.
Oh
putting that
my
bitch on the
lord,
record.
this again.
Yeah.
You just mad because she served your ass.
I want my $68 back. With
This, that,
inflation
You
and
had
interest, is
You
Bro,
had
it's
the
done.
opportunity to go get it, but you didn't do it.
This
with
outfit.
inflation and interest, it's probably up to $93.
You just mad because she served you.
Yeah, man,
Oh,
she came
stop
for
it.
Alfred pretty bad on this album. This actually, man, was a real dope follow up, and you know what they say about follow up. Sometimes it's not better than the original, but King's Disease 2 had everything, yo.
We might
And
as
I
well
love.
talk about it because everybody got
Yeah.
that number 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Across the board. That's
it
what's up.
was gonna be my number one. It was gonna be my number one, but I changed it. But I have no problem talking about it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, y'all get into it real quick, but him and Hit Boy, back to back Jack. I did like Magic. It kind of just did like we said earlier, it felt like an album preview for King's Disease 3, which will probably win a third Grammy. But I love the way this album opened up with the pressure, just smooth vibes, good, good feel, you know what I'm saying? Classic vintage Nas, that's what he does. And my favorite, probably one of my favorite Nas songs of all time, Store Run. Man, he let you know, man, he's the boss, man. He ain't no
Yeah.
these little warriors out here. Nah, man, Nas owns the store. Like he said, he sent you to the store, man. He owned the store. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
shout out to Nas, King's Disease 2, man. Good Lauryn Hill, slaying Al on it, giving him venomous lyrics.
Serving.
And y'all go ahead.
Oh
Y'all
yeah, he's serving
y'all
all
get
that.
the rest of it, man. Y'all got the rest of the plate, man.
Yeah, I know I mentioned Magic. I like Magic better than King's Disease 2, but the only thing King's Disease 2 triumphs Magic is the track length, obviously. And Nas kind of took his time. Me personally, I think him and King's Disease 1 are kind of neck and neck. I don't know, but
You could say that.
Nas and I'm loving the relationship at the moment between Nas and Hit Boy because this is a big moment of Hit Boy's career. Like you working with a veteran great of Nas, lacing him up with certain things, and Hit Boy even got some bars himself off the song Composure.
Yeah, I was very impressed with him. He was
I was
rapping on
impressed with
that.
him. But of course, everybody's favorite track, which is Al's favorite track, is Nobody. Um, uh,
Absolutely.
Obviously Nas is good. Nas is good. And anywhere you go, Nas is good. So you don't even gotta talk about it. But Store Run, I agree. Store Run, he killed it.
He
Um
owns the store. Yeah.
Now when I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw the track listing, I was a little concerned about track number 2 title, Death Row East, because I was like, hold up, what the hell we going with this? Because there's a lot of
That's
stories recording about Death Row East. So
and
Nas tackled.
I'm sorry to cut you off and to touch
No,
on
no, no,
that.
go ahead, dog.
Grand Wizard did an interview on Matt Hoffa's show, My Expert Opinion, and he talked about the same stuff Nas was talking about on Death Row East because he was there.
Mhm. Yeah,
It was
exactly.
real.
It was real. And
Hmm.
40 side, obviously, that's the hood. So
Oh yeah. Oh
you,
yeah.
you can't forget about the QB side, the 40 side
He
right there.
always
So
gives it up. Every time he
yep,
mentions 4016, he always brings it up every time.
that's the street that's the street number right there, or the project building number, right?
Yes, sir.
4016, 41st Ave. Shout out to the whole Queensbridge area, man. They really
Yes, sir.
helped put a lot. They really helped hip hop a lot. Like they
My
bridged
my
hip
Um,
backyard.
hop.
before before we get to you, Candyman, about King's Disease 2, like, and we know King's Disease 3 is coming. Did you guys think that we would get a series? And how many do you think we're going to get with these two?
I want 10.
You want 10
Oh my
King's
God.
Diseases?
10.
I want fucking 10. If the Saw movies can do 10, King's Disease 2 can do 10 as well.
Can you
Let's just
imagine that?
let's just do
That'd be so ill.
let's just do it every year. For this I'll make an exception as far as like length of the albums, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, we could keep
Right.
it maybe like anywhere between like, 10 to 15 songs. I'll give them a pass for it if we get 10 King's Disease. I'd love that.
Because it's like we're not going to get any other album titles, is what I'm saying. Because, because everybody's been asking for another Illmatic. Well, he gave us a Stillmatic, you know what I mean? So it's like King's Disease, there you go. You got one, you got two, three is on the way. So let's see
My,
how many we're going to get.
it
I would
might
not want another. I would not want another Illmatic only because that's too hard to top. That's too hard to follow. Going to be a hard sequel. Now, if he would have done King's Disease 1 starting like maybe a decade ago, I might give him 10 now. But maybe the way the timing is, I probably would say about 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's gonna merge to King's Virus.
King's Virus. True indeed. Candyman, what you got to say?
King's Disease 2. I think it's gonna be. I think it may end up going down as a classic at some point. When that discussion is ready to be had, I will I will vouch for King's Disease 2. Outside of the Lauryn Hill feature, which of course is personal for me, I don't have no problems with that album. Hit Boy did a fantastic job on the production, and who would have thought Nas, EPMD, and Eminem would have been all on the same track?
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I feel like the M verse was whack, but that's just me.
He could have done
But
better, but
Nas Nas did the damn thing, and there's not much more I could say that hasn't already been said about that album. But no, he's got my number one spot.
All right. Well, to break the ice, no, I didn't want mine to be the same with everybody, so I got to give it to my boy. And T.O., you've been waiting for this. I got to give it to 2 scoops of butter.
Ah, Banks.
Got to give it to my man. Now, let me tell y'all something. The curse of the inevitable really, really did it for me this year because he checked all boxes and he answered all questions. Anytime somebody comes out, and this is no diss or shade to 50 Cent because I love 50 Cent. But when you're 50 Cent and you're very popular and you have a huge fan base, and when you push a narrative saying that Lloyd Banks is lazy, people started to believe that, even though Banks was going through some personal triumphs and things that was going on in his life, he had to step back a little bit. He had to gather his thoughts. And June 4th, 2021, 67-54. This man here came out with an album and he was punching hard, even addressed 50 on some of these songs. If y'all read between the lines, y'all know this. So I gotta go with Propane. I gotta go with Death by Design. I gotta go with Pain, Pressure, Paranoia. Banks is pouring his heart out on these records. Hard beats, hard rhymes. What more could you ask for? This album right here, and even though Banks comes from the mixtape circuit and he's given us albums before, I think this one right here is the total package because he had a chip on his shoulder. He had a lot to address. I mean, look at the features. Come on, you got Styles P on here, you got Ransom on there, you got Benny on here, you got Freddie Gibbs on here, you got Rock
Isn't Rock
Marciano on here.
Marciano on there too?
Rock Marciano's on there. He's on track number 4, Early Exit. You know what I mean? Like Vano is on here, and there's even word about a supergroup with him, Dave East, and who else is in there? Who else is in
Oh
that
yeah.
supergroup?
Not it's not Cassidy, is it?
Not Fab.
No.
Mm-mm.
Uh, no, I don't think it's Fab.
Oh,
Who else is
nah,
in that
not
group?
Ransom.
Is it Currency?
No.
Oh,
No, I don't think. I know Dave East is in there. Uh, well, okay. Right, it's Votto. What am I talking about? It's
it
Lloyd
was
Banks,
Vado. What you
Votto,
talking
and Dave
about?
East, and they call themselves the Council. That's the group that's coming on the horizon. I can't wait to hear what they're coming with because these guys, this will be
The
interesting.
council, huh?
The
That's gonna be something.
Council, you know what I mean? So
That sound
I
like
want
something.
to,
That sound like gonna be a law album.
I want to shout out my man Lloyd Banks, man. Southside, you did it.
Mm.
Okay, so that's it. That's an interesting take. I know there are people out there who may or may not be surprised that certain things they would have picked we didn't pick and vice versa. So hit us up on the social media, uh, on IG Rap Lab Pod, raplabpod at gmail.com if you ain't got social media, and tell us what we missed. Tell us what you agree with and what you disagree with, because I'm pretty sure we don't speak for everybody when we made our lists. So Rap Lab is like a
Yep,
buffet. You got
yep,
spicy, you got cold, you got hot, you got sweet, you got sour, and everything in between. But
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
so
when you got
that's how.
Drake, well, yeah, and when you got Drake, it's cold and sour. But yeah,
Stop being a hater, fam.
I'm not
Uh-oh,
being
here
a
we
hater,
go.
and I want to shout out all the other rappers and albums that we did not touch on because there were plenty of albums that came out in 2021. So salute to every artist that came out.
Word up. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to bring quick light to this album Disco by this guy Mike. I stumbled upon this album not knowing what to expect, but this could have made my 5, man. It's a very, very different kind of sound, man. Shout out to Mike releasing Disco.
I
Nice, and I
also
want
want
to
to give a
shout
shout
out.
out. You
Go
go,
ahead.
QG.
No, go ahead. Go. You go first.
I also want to give a shout out to Pharoah Monch because he also released the
Hey.
album in
That's my boy.
2021. Was another like production group called 13, and it's not spelled like the
Hmm.
exact word. It got some symbols in it too, and they had an album called The Magnificent Day of Exorcism. I advise y'all to check that goddamn album out. You
Nice, and I
you
want to shout out.
you.
I want to shout out Az Do or Die Too. I want to shout out Jedi Mind Tricks as well. The Funeral and the Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to shout them both out.
and I'm gonna shout out J. Cole. He didn't make my top 5, but he got my honorable mention.
Yeah, good album.
Don't go back to Rwanda and play basketball no more.
Oh my Lord, you won't let that go, huh?
Nope. My man scored 3 points in like what 5 games.
We better than Master P.
Master P scored I think it was 17 points total in his NBA career. All right? Leave him alone.
Well,
That
you
was
know
a
what
practice.
that means?
That was practice.
You know what that means? I scored more than him in NBA 2K, and I don't play basketball. That's great.
Yo, leave the Colonel alone, man. Don't do that.
I got
Original
number love for the Colonel. Yeah,
The original
extra crispy
extra
for me,
crispy. Which
man.
one is?
Yeah,
Oh my
50
goodness.
pieces of chicken.
Oh no, not this again.
Anywho, this has been another Rap Lab podcast, and we'll catch y'all next Monday.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Welcome to the Rap Lab. Welcome to the Rap Lab. Welcome to the Rap Lab.